I'm here today to better inform you on three specific topics. The first topic is marketing strategies for large pharmaceutical companies. The second point is specific training for sales representatives. And the third is how to build relationships with doctors. And the purpose of this presentation is that hopefully by the end of it, you're able to understand how to better gain access to physicians' offices. And the first point is the marketing strategies for the large pharmaceutical companies. And what I did was first, I did a lot of research on large pharmaceutical companies such as Merck, Novartis, Eli Lilly, large companies like that. And I found that their taglines, their slogans, all their marketing schemes were things like "Be well" and making the world a bigger place, a better place. They were really focused on a larger world economy. Really focused on diversity. Really focused on trying to just make the world a better place. Really focused on their stakeholders and things like that. And I felt like that's really not going to help a company like Greystone Medical, a smaller private company. And specifically the My Care Coach branch, I didn't feel like that would really help you guys. So I started to do research on a couple smaller companies, and one of the ones I thought that would really be a good one to mimic, or would be a really good one to look at, kind of studying was Purdue Pharmaceuticals. They had a really good marketing strategies that I feel would really help a company like My Care Coach. They had it was just real personal, real relational. Just for instance, on their home website, they had links to click onto that were for the patients, some for the caregivers, and some for the physicians to already just look and see which medicines could help them, things like that. You could just see that they were already, all their slogans were about establishing good relationships and just about taking really good care of patients, customers, and looking up after the doctors as well. I think that's something that My Care Coach could really look at mimicking and implementing into their marketing strategies. The second point was specific training for the sales reps. I know right now My Care Coach is a really small company. It's not very large. The sales reps that they all do have right now are just here and there. But what I found in my research is that every single pharmaceutical company requires at least 4 to 8 weeks of training for their sales reps, whether it's big or small. All of them require it. Usually at the national office. I know that right now Greystone Medical doesn't really have a national office, but I feel that, I think they obviously could, do it on a smaller scale. Probably just, whether it's just getting with the creators of My Care Coach or meeting up with the people that, innovated it and created it, just so that those specific, things that the sales reps need to know when talking to doctors, like the dialogue, just like how to communicate, the actual word communicate. That's something that I think that you would say a lot when you're trying to sell this pitch to a doctor. The My Care Coach program is something that's trying to help chronically ill patients better communicate with the doctor. People that use Medicaid, because they don't always get the best care, and it allows the doctor to be compensated very well too. So you're really trying to sell that point of communication between, there's phone calls being made between the nurses and the patients monthly and stuff like that. So, just like that word communicate. And just to get back onto the training, I just feel that that's something that they could implement, maybe eventually have sales teams and work into that, kind of some of the models of the bigger companies. I think that would really help them. And the third point and final point is just building relationships. That's how you really gain the access to the doctor's offices. First you got to market yourself and you got to be prepared, but then finally you got to be able to build a relationship. And the first step to building those relationships is getting in contact with the gatekeeper. That's the person, either receptionist or the nurse that's at the doctor's office. They're the ones that have control of getting, sales reps to the doctor. So, you've got to contact that person, and your dialogue with this person is very important. You want to first, make the call, connect with them, go meet with them in person, and, you want to ask them questions like, when is the doctor not busy? When are times that I could probably, add value to your office, by either bringing in information, diagrams. I feel like I've got something that can really help benefit your company. And I feel like another thing that My Care Coach need is, pamphlets and brochures. I feel like that's something that they could easily just take to the gatekeepers and people like that who are not, so then they can give it to the doctor. But you just want to let the doctor know that their time is valuable, and you want to relay that in your first meeting with